Now we're going to talk about my very favorite books, the Lift the Flap series. Peter Usborne founded Usborne Books and More on the principle that books should be accurate and beautiful. Really grabbing these children into learning through inquiry and really rivaling what TV has to offer. We'll start with our preschoolers. I have shapes, sight words, and numbers. I love this sight word book because it acts like a flashcard inside of the book, really showing how you can go from picture to word or word to picture to self-check. So shapes offers a chance for our students to look at shapes and see how you can lead through inquiry to really understand even some basic ideas. Our next section is the very beginning of our Lift the Flap, as we start with ages 2, 2.5, where they really get to look inside these topics at a greater depth. Really learning the how and the what in these topics. This is farm. I love how it introduces some basic concepts, such as where the food grows, to a little bit more advanced teaching about how the farm interacts with nature in order to grow the food and how it is processed. I think these are a little bit different than just a regular picture book because with the flaps you're able to show a little bit more of the process. We also have dinosaurs, nighttime, zoo, and I showed you space. We also have animal homes. Next in our ages is the look inside. We have look inside space and food, but we also have airport and the human body. Food is my favorite because it's so close to home for all of us. And sometimes we don't talk as much about what we're eating, how it got to our table. And this book really lends itself to talk more to our kids. This one is about growing grains. My kids are gluten intolerant, and so this is their favorite page because they talk about how gluten is made and how it hurts their tummies. So it really helps me talk to them too, just about how food is processed, what processed foods we can have, and what things we can't have in our specific home. So you can see that these are for a little bit older, but even my 2 and 3-year-old little learners can use this as a platform to talk to me about things. We also have space. Also for that age group, we have What Makes It Rain. I love this Lift the Flap question and answer book because it is inquiry based. Every flap is introduced by a question. What's it like inside of a cloud? And we're given an answer. And as you can see, the answers are age appropriate. Small bites. How does water get into the sky? It's giving you not only a picture, but a written explanation that we can read to our kids. I think this book is amazing for this preschool age group as they're starting to develop fears, and you can kind of help reel those in with some really encouraging conversations that help grow their minds too. So that's a question and answer for our little ones. The big ones also can have some question and answer led inquiry. So these are ages 4 and up. I really think that a 5 or 6-year-old would thrive with these as well. Why do astronauts wear spacesuits? Really breaking it down to the why and how. So this one is the question and answers about space. There are 60 flaps. So just think about where you might use this book. I'm making dinner. My child is sitting on the couch or at his table reading about this. Maybe you're reading it for bedtime or to calm down. Maybe this is I just dropped my nap, but I still need to stay in my room. Maybe this is my sister is at a doctor's appointment. So there are so many ways that you can use this book to help spur some learning that's a little bit more organic as the kids start to follow their interests more. There are so many other variations of this. So go ahead and check those out online to find themes that you might love. So the Lift the Flap question answers are a little bit different than some of our other Lift the Flap books. We have computers and coding here. As you can see, these look like they might lend themselves better to some older kids, 7 to 9 maybe, for this computers and coding. So just depending on their content and reading level is how you can kind of figure out what books fit your kids. But each of these books really gives in-depth, accurate information that just builds and builds and builds. Look at those flaps inside the flaps. This is one of my favorite lift the flap art. I think art is kind of ageless. While this one does, I think, have a higher reading level, I use this to talk to my children about art and just give them a chance to see some real life art that maybe we're not ready to go to a museum together and sit for a long time. Maybe it's not worth the trip downtown, but we can look at one piece of art at a time and talk about, oh, remember that oil painting we saw? How about we look at another painting that was also oil painting? How are those similar? So I think this is just a really great starting point for things artistic. Great for any age. As our kids develop in their reading abilities and also their interest levels and brain capacities, we have See Inside. I think See Inside just really reinforces that reading can be fun. Those older kids are starting to read more dense material, especially in school and their independent reading. And this is helping give them a chance to own their learning. This is the See Inside Your Body. And they can look at the different systems in their body that they might understand on a surface level. And the flaps and the pictures just help them understand a little bit more where, why, how, and connect it more to themselves. So I think See Inside the Body, shoot, I love this book to read myself. See Inside Weather and Climate is another one. It's kind of like What Makes It Rain, but for these older kids. You have a kid that asks a lot of questions, wants to understand how science intersects with their daily lives. This is a fantastic book to introduce. See Inside Great Cities, I think as kids start to read more, see more things on TV, even they start to wonder what else is out there in the world. You might not be able to see all of the flaps that are here, but just across the page, there's tons of flaps. This book truly takes you to new places. There's one that's castles. So if you have not gotten a chance to check these out, just pop on online, start typing in See Inside, or go to the left hand toolbar and select See Inside, or the lift flap topic of your choice, and find the book that is perfect for your reader.